Guys, in my garage here today I'm gonna make a poop emoji out of aluminum. I got myself a stainless toilet brush holder. That's what I'm gonna use as a crucible to melt some aluminum in a campfire. And I'm going to carve the poop emoji out of a chunk of styrofoam, put in some sand. Hopefully I can get a fire hot enough to melt a bunch of aluminum, pour it into the styrofoam mold, and then it should just melt through the styrofoam and make a poop emoji, which I actually have a plan for. I'm not just making it because I'm kind of dumb and that's what I do in my spare time, I guess. But yeah, you'll see what the point of that is in another video. Okay, so to turn this into a crucible, I'm going to use to melt the aluminum. I gotta cut the top off and get rid of these holes. That way it doesn't pour out those holes when I go to pour it into the mold. This thing just unscrews. So I do have a lid for it. And now I just need to weld a little handle onto it so I can get it out of the fire once it's in there. Here's my crucible with some scrap aluminum in there. Gotta fill it right up and stick her in the fire. Start carving my poop emoji out of a chunk of styrofoam. That kind of looks like a poop, I think. And the aluminum is melting. Now I just have to kind of bury this. I got that poop buried upside down. And I just got to get more aluminum melted. Then I can try and cast it. I've never done this before, so I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not.
Fire's hot.
The fire isn't hot enough on its own, so I have to use the bellows. That really gets her cooking. You can see the molten aluminum in there. Some solid pieces melting into it slowly. Well, I poured her in there, had a bit of a camera malfunction, but I lost a little bit of aluminum down at the bottom of the fire. But I think I filled up the whole thing. I'm not entirely sure. It's still extremely hot right now. And see if it actually looks anything like what I carved out of that styrofoam, and maybe I'll do this again with something other than making a piece of poop. Alright, the big reveal here. Oh, that's a steamer.
Not gonna lie, Lonnie, that kind of looks like shit.
I'm surprised how well that worked though. There's kind of a ugly void here near the top, but the whole bottom of it turned out like exactly how I had it cut. My first poop. It's been like 10 minutes and this thing's still making a weird noise. I gave it a quick wire wheel, shined it up a little bit, ground the bottom sort of flat, and still a couple spots that are a little underfilled, a little ugly, but it is just a big poop, so not too worried about that. I just have to drill and tap this. now I just need to paint this, and I'm going to kind of take this time to talk a little bit, since I don't really like doing voiceovers a whole lot. I find it really awkward just recording my voice sitting in front of my computer. So I'll probably do a little bit better if I'm actually just sitting here doing something. But with this poop emoji, I'm not actually making it just for the sake of making a random poop. I do have a reason for it, and it'll be apparent in one of my next videos. But I was thinking when I'm done with this, which will probably be next week sometime, I'm going to use it for what I made it for. I was thinking I would do a little giveaway for anyone who wants this piece of poop, I guess. Not that I imagine a lot of people are going to watch this video or want this piece of poop, but after I'm done with it, on whatever the next post my sister puts on Instagram, if you comment a poop emoji on it and just send me a screenshot, because she might just delete the post or your comment, I'll enter anyone who does that for her next post in a draw. So if you do it, you'll probably have a good chance of winning this lovely piece of poop, because I don't imagine a lot of people are going to watch this video, and for whoever does, I don't imagine a lot of people are going to want to win this or comment on my sister's post. Anyway, that's out there. Anyone who wants to win this, they can. But yeah, I'll show off this when once I'm done painting it. Do some highlights, maybe some corn. Paint a happy little corn and maybe give him a little friend. And we'll do some Bob Ross kind of stuff, except in potty humor form, I guess. Alright, a couple more little notes before I'm done the video. This, or if anyone's interested in actually casting aluminum, I'm not super experienced in it, but one thing that I actually did a little research on before doing this is the burning temperature of different woods. I have two different woods at home that I burn in my fire pit. One is birch and the other one's spruce. I knew beforehand that birch put out more BTUs, but I wasn't sure about their burning temperature, because BTUs, that's the amount of heat given off, like in energy, I guess. So temperature is what you actually need to melt something like this. If something has a lot of BTUs, it'll heat something up a lot quicker. But if it, say, I'll give you spruce as an example, it burns at 600 degrees Celsius, and aluminum melts at 660 degrees Celsius. So even if it had more BTUs than birch than it does, it still wouldn't melt aluminum. It just doesn't get hot enough. But birch burns at 800 degrees Celsius, so that's what I use to melt my aluminum. And I found that it was having a hard time melting it, just burning it just in the atmosphere, I guess. So I had to bring my air line out with an air chuck and blow a lot of air on it to start burning the birch a lot more rapidly, which helped a lot more than I expected. It's same idea as like old blacksmiths used to have the big pumps that they'd kind of step on, the bellows they call them, and they just kind of pump air into their fire to heat up their swords or whatever they're making. So same idea, and I was able to melt this aluminum. The very bottom here ended up kind of not so great. I think that's because I didn't have enough sand. Well, I didn't have the styrofoam in the sand deep enough. So I think the styrofoam and sand kind of started collapsing on itself right here. But overall, this thing turned out pretty good for it being just a big poop. So I'm pretty happy with it. And I'm excited to use it for what I made it for, which is sort of a secret. If you want to guess in the comments, go ahead. I've told a couple people already. But yeah, here's my beautiful poop emoji. Thanks for watching.